you for being here.
You.
Now,
Thank you so much for having us.
oh, thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate that. And I'm Marguerite Fair. This is Laughter Talks. And let me tell you a little bit about my two great guests today, these lovely people sitting here. Ian Mark is an award winning director, actor, producer, and improviser. He runs Donuts LLC. He wrote, directed, produced, and acted in their last short film, He's That Guy, starring film and television legend George Weiner. The short won Best Comedy at the Independent Short Awards. And he also hosts and directs the Donuts weekly improv shows, live streamed on YouTube, IG, and Facebook. And also today we're going to be talking about the new feature film he's doing and called More Perfect Union. Now, also with us, this lovely young lady, Blaize Hall, is an award-winning actor, writer, producer, director, singer, and songwriter. She runs Weeping Willow Wellness, a holistic healing company based in meditation, yoga, reggae healing, and radical self-love. Very good for today's lifestyle. Good for you. She wrote, produced, and acted in Donuts LLC's last film, He's That Guy, alongside Ian Mark and George Weiner. She also wrote, produced, and acted in Daycare, Designer Babies, and Empty Space, which won Best Women Short at the Independent Shorts Awards last summer. Well, congratulations to you both. And what I would like to do is dive right into your new feature. I would like if you would start right off, tell us about that project because you're doing it together.
Yeah.
We're
Well, this
wearing all the
morning we
hats.
were actually already on set shooting two amazing scenes. One was a pregnancy going into labor flashback at Henry Berg and Stella Berg's house. And then one was a flashback to the day that they first move in to the house, and we were in the pool. And so I have a super chlorinated eye, which is freaking me out right now. But
So I'll tell her about
so
like the
you
whole
tell her all
project
the
for
good
the
stuff,
people
and I'll
who don't
just
know anything.
cry over
Tell us the
here.
name
My
first.
eyes
Tell
are
us the name
watering.
of the feature.
A More Perfect Union is set during March 2020. It captures 2 weeks in the COVID pandemic that none of us are ever going to forget, and tells the story of the Bergs, a family with a young child who the husband, Henry, is on trial for stealing papers from the NSA, and his trial gets interrupted by the shutdown, and it continues via Skype, and he's exposed to COVID, so he has to isolate away from his wife and daughter for 2 weeks. Meanwhile, his wife is dealing with a secret of her own that she's recently discovered that their child is not actually Henry's and is the product of a short encounter she had with a very famous musician when they were still.
Blame her for that. Forgive her.
Absolutely. Well, they
so
were
basically,
polyamorous.
yeah,
So
the
it was
couple
totally
the couple
okay.
is polyamorous, and so they have multiple partners from the very beginning of their relationship.
Oh, cool.
And so she meets this pop star or rapper. We haven't cast him yet, so we're not sure who he is yet.
We have ideas.
We have some names. We have some names in a hat, and we're just gonna pick one basically. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so basically, yeah, she becomes impregnated in the short relationship with that man and assumes that it couldn't possibly be his and marries Henry and decides to try to pursue a more traditional route. They close off the marriage, they become monogamous, she becomes a stay-at-home mom, drops out of med school, and now years later, cut to coronavirus, the pandemic is stressing out their relationship. Henry has pursued this cause of fighting against mass surveillance with the NSA. He's pulled some Ed Snowden type move, and now he's away at trial. And so Stella is just feeling like their relationship doesn't have a chance. So she reaches out to the child's biological father, because she found out a few months before, got the DNA results that he is in fact the father. And they start kind of an emotional relationship. And so basically, over the span of the 2 weeks, we watch this couple grappling with their decision that they have to make. And Stella is wondering if she should leave Henry and start over with this guy, or what she should do. She doesn't know what to do. She's struggling with some mental health stuff. She's really struggling with basically essentially being a single parent at home while he's away on trial and then away quarantining.
While Henry
is actually having COVID.
and dealing with the paranoia of being watched constantly.
Yeah. Did you two write this jointly? Did you write this together?
Yeah.
Wow.
I came up with the idea of doing a film, and I was like, here's some of the things I think should be in it. And then she was like, well, what about all this other stuff? Because we were talking about doing another short, so we incorporated some of the ideas that were going to be in that short into kind of an outline. And then I was like,
I
here's
forgot about the other short completely.
And then we wrote the first I wrote the first draft, and we came in and brought her in, and like she started tweaking all Stella's stuff and some of Henry's stuff too, and we just kind of kept working on it and working on it together and getting outside input. But it is very much both of our brainchild. And we find this couple on the brink of divorce, the brink of collapse, kind of like how the whole country feels like it's on the brink of collapse.
Yeah, very relatable. What I'd like to do now is stop for a second. Blaize did send me a clip, and I'd like to take a second. Let's show everybody this wonderful clip.
Yeah. Do you want me to preface the clip at all?
Yes, do that.
So basically, the idea is that this clip happens while Henry is still in quarantine at his twin brother's apartment. And it's a phone call where they call to try to talk, and it turns into a huge fight where they hash out some of their deepest, darkest feelings about their relationship and the possibility of divorcing. And Stella is there in Henry's mind. So we're getting to see them on screen together fighting. But at the end of the scene, it will be revealed in the film that it's still just a phone call. So she's not actually there in person. But we loved using this visual tactic where Stella comes into the scene in Henry's imagination. So we're not just looking at the phone call all the time.
That's a good way to do it. It's more stimulating. So everybody sit back. We're going to show this clip from A More Perfect Union.
I just want some version of this where we both get happy.
Well, we both have one kid. So if that's what you need.
I can't
don't.
stay in this and keep doing what we're doing. I cannot be a good mom to her when every day I wake up and I hate my life and I'm fucking trying to find ways to get out of it, and I don't know how to change it, but I just have to try something different.
Well, why does trying something different mean throwing me?
Because I've been trying to make this work for so long and it's obviously not fucking working, Henry. And I don't know what else to try.
I don't know when.
I'm sorry that it's happening like this, and I wish that I knew if we just.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. You know, it's a very passionate scene. I was watching that earlier today too, and it's like, whoa. I mean, that's why I said it's very relatable. I mean, and another thing, now you did this during this time of COVID, which I find a lot of people are getting creative. It's an amazing story. I read.
Oh, yeah.
She had no prep at all. She didn't even know she was going to be on camera that day, and just was like immediately dropped into those very intense emotions that you talk about, to the point
Sometimes that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and we actually threw the script out the window too. So, I mean, the gist of the fight, we already knew, obviously, because we wrote it, but we ended up improvising all of our takes. So we got really raw stuff. And because we have the backgrounds in being on an improv team together, you know, we just took what we already usually do comedically and just switched.
That's what's nice, to have that shared energy. Because even when I do projects, I encourage the actors to throw in some improvisation, because that just builds that, because it was very believable.
It's irreplaceable. It's always more raw.
So tell us more about how you're filming this during this COVID time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we have a tiny crew, and everybody is wearing multiple hats. Blaize and I are the stars of the film. We're also directing the film, and that cuts down on people, but also basically we're all doing way more work than anybody should be doing. And it's the hardest I've ever worked on anything, but we're doing temperature checks every day. We're wearing masks constantly, except when we're in scene. We're getting tested regularly, everybody who is involved in our production. And then we have, you know, our tiny crew, and then we have all these other people who are filling roles like post-production stuff and helping out, who are doing it all remotely. So we're meeting with them remotely. We're keeping as much as possible remote.
We have an entire team of interns from my college actually working over in Ithaca, New York, at Ithaca College. They're working on our PR stuff, our social media, our website. So it's really awesome. We have all these people working truly, truly behind the scenes to make this possible.
And to make it really safe, like we've been shooting 3 days a week. We've been shooting 7.5 hour days. So nobody is getting overstretched. Like it's not the normal 5 day a week, 12 hours where everything is go, 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 go. We've done an unbelievable amount of prep work on this. So we know what we want, and we're doing it in a way where we're thinking about it, like how can we do this in a safe way? How can we do this with the limited crew that we have, and like really make this possible? Because we both said to each other at the beginning of the film, it's not worth it if we're going to get sick doing this. It's not worth it if somebody on the crew is going to get sick doing this.
And it's also not worth it to push through at some arbitrary pace for some deadline that nobody else is making for us and have, crappy footage. So we have definitely taken our time with things where it's like, okay, well, we are doing all of the jobs. So if it takes us a little bit longer to get the shots we need, it's okay. I would say honestly, it's actually worked out more efficiently to have a really small crew.
Now, your daughter is in the movie.
She is.
Tell us a little bit about her part in this.
Yeah, Kalinda Jade is almost 3 years old. She's grown up on sets with me since she was really little, doing little commercial work and being in some of my other shorts and stuff. But this is her first feature film, and she is, like, I want to say at the peak, like perfect prime age to be this little hilarious character, because she is so adorable. She's like at that perfect toddler age where she's so funny and so cute and still like a little bit babyish, but also like such a child with her own opinions and her own things to say and like so much attitude. And so we're really, really excited to be capturing this amazing age on screen. And I am just
directions well.
Yeah, it's been going great.
Like surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Better than her.
Hey!
I'm just kidding.
Love that.
She's such a trooper, though, honestly. Like, we did this whole tricycle scene outside one morning before I dropped her off at daycare, and she like literally would fall over in her tricycle sometimes.
What?
No, it happened like 2 or 3 times. And she would just be like, guys, I'm okay. We're like, all right, as long as the talent's not hurting.
Talent's fine.
And she'd be like, so can he chase you again? And we're like, oh my gosh.
Talent wants to go again.
Talent wants to take 3.
I will say, like, her character, Haley Bird, we saw the dramatic fight scene and all that negative emotion and that hate, like that anger. Her character, that cuteness, the love, like just the way she radiates positivity, it is what grounds the film. It is what grounds both of these characters. It is the reason that they can't just walk away from each other. They can't just say this is over. Like, it gives all of the other stuff more meaning and more heart to it.
She's really the light and the hope in the film, both for the Berg family and also for the future of our country. Like, she really represents what we're all fighting for right now, and what we're all praying for and hoping for and working towards is a brighter future for our children.
Well, it's a very timely piece. It's a lovely piece, and I know you're going to be very successful with it. Now, let me ask, what is the best way, because you do have the website, tell us, it was your Wix site and the name of the movie. Tell us the name of your website where people can see everything, and then I'll put it up.
People can go to amoreperfectunion.ptnt.com or follow us at A More Perfect Union Film on Instagram.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter. Our handle is slightly different on Twitter, I think.
No, it isn't?
Yeah, our interns changed it.
Oh,
interns!
Those interns.
But if you search A More Perfect Union Film on Twitter and Facebook, you can also find it there. So we're on all the socials, but the easiest way is to go to the website one more time, amoreperfectunion.ptnt.com.
Because you have great information on there and the pictures and everything. I love them. It's like amazing. Let's face it, you're her supporting cast.
Absolutely. At the end of the day. Yep.
You can always say that. Yep. Well, I thank you so much for being here. And I always like to tell everyone to also, if you want to know more about other projects, because you guys have such a body of work, everyone can go to your IMDb pages.
Absolutely.
And check out your stuff there. For Ian.
And my personal social media is also great. It's just at Emblazon, EMBLAIZON.
Say that again.
Or my Emblazon, EMBLAIZON, or my website, blaizehall.com.
Okay.
At the real Ian Mark on all of them.
And the what?
At the real Ian Mark.
At the real, okay.
Imposters
You're
trying to
so
pretend
funny.
that they're me out there.
Okay, there, see, we've got, well, that's good, because sometimes people see and they want to contact you, and I know if they would like to help your
And we are
production.
absolutely still taking contributions for our second phase of production and post-production.
100% tax deductible.
It's all tax deductible. A portion of your donations goes to a
COVID
charity,
relief.
COVID relief, and to a nonprofit.
Media Alliance.
We're
Yes.
fiscally sponsored. And if you're interested in executive producer slots, we still have a couple available.
And why would you give your money to the government when you can give it to us instead?
Exactly, exactly. Well,
We will use it responsibly.
but yeah, thank you so much for everything
so
you've
much,
shared, so much success with your project. And what I would like to tell everyone is remember to support your immune system, only one per customer. And also please subscribe over here to the Laughter Talks YouTube channel. And thank you so much. And I'll see you two again soon. After you're done with your film, you've got to come back and let us know what's going on.
Oh, we
We'd
would love to.
We'd love
Thank
to.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye, guys.